Welcome to week 4. We're at the halfway mark, you guys. This week's book is The Graveyard Book, Volume 1, a graphic novel adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Newbery Award-winning novel, The Graveyard Book. The book was adapted by P. Craig Russell and illustrated by a team of renowned artists: Kevin Nolan, Tony Harris, Scott Hampton, Galen Showman, Jill Thompson, and Stephen B. Scott.
We're going to be talking about Volume 1 today. Volume 1 includes Chapter 1 through the interlude.
The book is about a boy named Nobody Owens who lives in a graveyard with a bunch of ghosts. Sounds really cute, right? But there's more.
At the beginning of the book, Nobody's parents are killed.
And here's where the problems start. This book was challenged in a middle school library for violent imagery.
What?
I mean, there were some images I guess you could say were violent, but it was like 3 panels.
Speaking as a middle schooler, I've seen worse.
Just blood. Nothing gory, nothing. We'd be here till we're 30 if we named every TV show or movie that a middle schooler would watch that has blood in it. Not to mention video games. We know plenty of elementary school kids who play Call of Duty and very violent games. So this brings up the question whether that's appropriate or not. But that's up to the kids' parents, right?
Come on! If you feel you must ban books, do it in your own home. Be respectful of other families to make their own reading choices.
And parents, give your kid a little credit on what they can handle. I mean, if your kid is sensitive and doesn't like scary or gory stuff, this probably isn't the book they're going to pick up off the library shelf and read. Trust me, I was that kid. Before I was older and started watching Supernatural, I would have seen this book and run away, ran far, far away. Just from the title alone.
Maddie wouldn't even go on the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland unless it was Nightmare Before Christmas themed. Oh my god, that is so true. You probably wouldn't even go on it now.
I was agreeing with you. Now I am able to cope, but if I hadn't, I would have put the book down and gone and picked up some other book. That's the great thing about a library. So many choices, so many different books for so many different tastes.
The book was banned in February this year, but thankfully the CBLDF was able to defend it, and the review committee voted to keep it on the library shelves. Violence isn't good, but maybe, just maybe, these concerned parents can start on changing the amount of violence in real life before trying to censor the reflection of it in fiction. Though, of course, this is fiction, fantasy, and it's a lot more acceptable when you know it's a story. Plus, scary stories have been told forever, so back off that it's too violent.
Plus, fear is kind of a form of entertainment. Should we take the Daleks out of Doctor Who? Should Buffy never fight a big bad?
Should we never tell ghost stories? Should no one ever be killed on Pretty Little Liars? And there's no entertainment value in a story if there's no creepy villain threatening something scary. Plus, if you don't like murders and horror stories, step away from the genre. Neil Gaiman is a master at this, and he wrote a book for kids that's appropriate for kids. Now that we cleared that up, let's talk book. Maddie, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the last part, the chapter about the Dance Macabre. I liked it because it was fun, but it also deepened the already established divide between the living and the dead, especially the part where the dead can't talk about it to the living.
My favorite part was the chapter about the witch, Liza. And I thought she was like really cool, and it was really nice how she was talking to Nobody after he had just lost his human friend. I really liked her backstory, where we learned about how she died.
She was burned as a witch.
Yeah, she was hunted. She was hunted by witch hunters because they thought she was a witch. And
she was a witch. Well,
yeah.
Okay, they don't explicitly say she was a witch, but
because most of the time the witches, they like either like drowned or burned or whatever. Like they weren't even like witches. Yeah, I'm really like into witches and all that stuff. Yeah, I was like,
she thought she was a witch for a time. She was convinced she had a black hole in her closet.
we should talk about that on camera. My secret's out.
Liza was my favorite character because she's laid back but spunky, and she's just a good person overall.
My favorite character, if not Liza, was probably Silas, because, I don't know, he really took in Nobody when he was nobody and had no family. He became a father figure, and I really liked him because he was just He was super nice, and you wouldn't expect him, of all people, to like do that. But he was actually like a really cool guy. I don't know, I just want to give Silas a big hug. We thought this book was totally Tweeks approved. We loved it so much. We'd say this book is good for ages 8 and up. You just have to comprehend it. And like ghosts.
Overall, parents, know your kids' boundaries. If your kid has a lot of nightmares or is scared of ghosts, you read the book first, and you'll probably love it, so it's a win-win. And kids, if you've already read the novel, definitely read this. And if you haven't, still read this, and also read the novel.
So, that's all for now.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Periscope, and like us on Facebook.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Check back every Thursday on ComicMix.com for new videos.
Bye!